Hey guys, some gamer dude here. So it's time for the finale, for the time being anyway. Was Link Joker broken? This probably isn't the best title for this video, as it's not exactly what we're looking at. The true topic is Locke and the Star-Vaders in their prime during the Link Joker block. But Locke and Star-Vaders are iconic to Link Joker from their beginning through to the end of the G era. Locke is Link Joker and Link Joker is Locke. But it's also delete and unlock, but mostly Locke. Locke turns a rearguard face down. It ceases to exist, and the circle it inhabits cannot be used. This state of Locke lasts until the end of that unit's owner's turn, at which point the unit is unlocked, returned to face up in the stand orientation. Locke made Link Joker by far the single most controversial clan in the game, and according to many players' opinions, Link Joker was a mistake due to Locke. Locke has seen it as an unfair mechanic and one that causes Link Joker to superannuate Mega Colony due to the similarities in how they function. This comparison to other clans is where Link Joker is most interesting. When Kagero retires a unit, they are taking a card away from the opponent's control. If the opponent chooses to replace it, Kagero lowered their opponent's ability to protect themselves by one card. If they can't, it affects how much pressure that column puts out offensively. Kagero doesn't stop the opponent from doing anything, but it removes key units from the opponent's board while putting them into a position where they need to commit more. When Mega Colony stuns a unit, it asks the opponent a question. Do you want to lose momentum and not use that unit to attack or boost this turn? Do you change how you intend to use that unit if it can intercept, or will you flat out retire it? The last two, so that you may keep up momentum. Mega Colony's stun is what their opponent makes of it. If they can't afford to lose that unit, it's not going anywhere and your opponent's momentum is cut. If they can afford to lose it, Mega Colony just force an intercept or retire, potentially lowering your opponent's overall ability to protect themselves. Link Joker's Locke just shuts down a unit. The opponent doesn't have a choice, nor does it remove the card from the opponent's control. It just stops the opponent from using that circle at all. Locke doesn't take away from the opponent, nor does it manipulate them into making abnormal plays. It denies their opponent the use of their own field. But what is Locke's impact upon the game? It's complicated. On face value, it's just that the Link Joker doesn't have to guard a column, or the amount it has to guard with is significantly lowered in either raw cards or shielding value, saving the Link Joker player cards. It's adjacent to, but not exactly a plus. But the saving also varies greatly. Shut down a unit that could produce more attacks or something with high power, the amount of cards being saved is higher. There are a couple of things to consider though. Link Joker's most dreaded play at the time, the Triangle Lock, saved you between 3 and 6 cards depending on opponent, the average being 4. But this also costs the Link Joker player 2 cards in Break Ride and Dusttail Unicorn, for a total of 2 cards saved. While not prominent at the time, Oracle Think Tank Skull, which Coco deck was still the premier draw deck, and the best it got was a +3 total. +4 if it chooses to ride Coco again, but can only realistically do it once due to the conditions and costs of Coco. If the Link Joker player chooses to Break Ride over Break Ride, they can save themselves 1 card each turn, meaning that they can further +3 for a total of 6 to 9 cards. Break Ride over Break Ride was not uncommon at the time, meaning the Link Joker player can save more over a game than Oracle Think Tank can draw. But the save is also different to a straight draw. The draw could be anything of any shield value. Locke, specifically the Triangle Lock at the time, is potentially saving 2 10k shields and 2 5k shields. Those are fairly specific cards, and 2 having high shield value. Likewise, versus Nova Grappler or Aqua Force, the amount of cards saved escalates via Locke. You do not draw more cards versus these clans while playing Oracle Think Tank. But that's not the whole deck. The primary bosses of Link Joker synergize with Locke. So let's move on to the big boss of Star-Vaders and the most contentious card of the Link Joker block, Star-Vader Chaos Breaker Dragon. In BT12, Star-Vaders were merely annoying. Infinite Zero gave them a lot of saved cards, and Nebula Lord Dragon helped them push for game via brute force. It was strong, it was annoying, but it was arguably close to fair. Chaos Breaker was seen as a highly broken card and a card made to break Infinite Zero Dragon. We discussed before how Infinite Zero saved you a card each break ride and how Link Joker could save a total of 2 cards by just initiating the Triangle Lock. But what if this triangle lock not only took away cards from your opponent, but gave you cards on top of the cards you saved from lock itself? That's just what Chaos Breaker does. His synergy with Infinite Zero and Dusttail is like nothing else in the game at the time. When a card unlocks, Soul Blast 1 Star-Vader, which the deck entirely was, kill the unit unlocking and draw a card. So your triangle lock saves you on average 4 cards, costs you 2, now removes 3 from your opponent and gives you 3 for a total of 8 card swing, or +5 to you and -3 to the opponent. On any other turn, you can CB1 turn any Star-Vader card in your hand into a lock. He's probably not going to be able to Soul Blast for the kill and draw, but he can shut down Nova Grappler and Aqua Force on a whim, while saving 10 to 15,000 shield versus everyone else. Even with this pitch 1, this is an extremely powerful effect itself at the time. Early Star-Vaders have a very interesting design to them, completely revolving around their break ride Infinite Zero Dragon. This is done to allow the actual boss cards to be as synergistic as possible, resulting in incredibly oppressive situations without actually breaking the boss cards themselves. Yes, Chaos Breaker isn't broken by himself because he has no volition outside of his own act, but this combination with Infinite Zero Dragon is incredibly overpowered for its day. But what about Lock? I'm having a very hard time saying Chaos Breaker is broken because it's 2 cards used in tandem to cause the outcome they do, but are relatively tame individually. But is Lock broken? After a lot of thought, I came to the conclusion that yes, Lock is broken. Lock is broken for a few reasons, one of which I've already touched on. On surface, Lock saves you cards. This is true. But what it also does is tell an unhealthy amount of clans they simply can't play the game. If you have anything to do with your rearguard, you aren't allowed to play versus Link Joker. Retire may remove a card from your control and Stun give you a difficult choice, but if you have the ability to replace, you can. You just have 1 less card to shield yourself with, but you can resume your winning image. This is completely removed with Lock. Lock also made a fair amount of clans unviable. Secondly, the fact that hard counters such as Unlock and Resist needed to exist in the first place. If a mechanic is such a problem that a silver bullet needs to exist, it was probably broken to start with. Silver bullets in this manner are adjacent to banning. Ezel Scissors wouldn't have needed to happen had Lock not been broken. Same goes with the Unlocker promos. This also, in a roundabout way, makes Chaos Breaker broken by association. As soon as Legion hit, the Vanguard column being as high as it was, power crept past Lock for the most part. The Vanguard could make up for the rearguard being unable to attack. Chaos Breaker couldn't keep up, and Legion Link Joker wasn't very good. But Star-Vaders had cemented themselves as something that had a profoundly negative effect upon the game. Something older players are still embittered towards today. I don't think it's unreasonable to suggest, even with the impact the End and the G unit had, Link Joker's Star-Vader is by far the worst and most damaging thing ever released in Cardfight Vanguard.